Welcome back to my channel. This is Dave Law from Get Some Colour in Your Life. There's quite a misconception, quite common, people thinking that you have to be a good drawer to be able to paint, and that really isn't the case. I've sketched out just really loosely for this painting, and it's nothing special, just a pencil outline just to guide me as I paint. Just want a few buildings, a few houses, and I've got a little bit of a church in the sort of distance, so I want this sort of faded. But you really don't have to be precise, you don't have to be technically good with drawing, and if you really do find it a struggle, maybe if you put the paint down first and then add the pencil later, or pen, and just do some outlines. I think you'd be quite surprised in what you can achieve. It really isn't that difficult. You can see the drawing that I've done. It's just shapes, that's all it is. And then you're going loose with the watercolor. So for this painting, I'm using my Fabriano cold press paper. This is £140 cold press. It's size 11 by 15, and I'm using my Schmincke Horadam paints as well. So I want quite an interesting sky here, so I'm just leaving a few painted areas. So I've used the hake and then skipped over some parts, and I'm just using this round brush just to mop up a few clouds, soften a few clouds, so you get this nice fluffy misty sort of clouds, and that sort of works quite well. You'll have to excuse my voice, I don't know, I was ill a couple of weeks ago and it's just left me with this sort of hoarse throat, so you just have to bear with me. But I do like to paint these loose scenes. There is a couple of ways of painting. You can either paint tight, all the details, and try and get everything perfect, or you can just go for this loose impressionistic sort of style, which I do find quite easy. It's quite natural for me to do. You can see the sort of marks I'm making with the brush. I'm not going in any particular direction. As this is grass, I want it to sort of be all over the place. So just roughing in the foreground, roughing in the grass, and I will go over that as well. But I do want a few colours in there, so I want to make it quite interesting, and you'll see how that works out as I add different colours. I want blues, even touching some reds and a few yellows as well. But like I said, I will go over this again. This is just the first wash, so I just want to get the paper covered initially, and then sort of start layering as I go along. So I've got my board at about a 40-degree angle, and that's for the purpose of filming. It does help to have a slight angle. It just helps the pigment come down the paper, and it helps the colours mix, etc. And then I want a little bit of a distant hill in the just underneath the sky, just peeping over there. So just filling in the church. So I'm just representing this with just a couple of spires. There's absolutely no detail on there whatsoever. And you'll see I do want to lift some of that paint out as well. Just so it throws it back into the distance. And then there's some buildings that I want in front of that with a bit more definition, a bit more detail. So just popping in for the same colour for all the roofs, and then just dropping in just a slight variance of the colour. And now just with a damp brush, just lifting some of that paint back, and you'll see it gives this sort of distant, sort of misty look. And I'm just touching in some of the darker paint, so I'm using a bit more pigment to water, and this helps give me a more saturated paint. Like I said, with the grass, you just want to go sort of all different ways. You don't want it all uniform, sort of standing up straight. It's quite a rugged scene, so you want that to reflect in the painting as well. So to help me define these buildings, these houses, cottages and trees, I'm just using a fine liner pen. So this is one of my ink pens, just to go over the outlines. And like I said, if you look at this, it really isn't technically brilliant, the drawing. It's just really an impressionistic drawing, and then just with the watercolors, it just helps. It just makes it look loose, and that's what I'm after. So if you are after a tighter painting, if you want something to look perfect and get everything exact, then that's entirely up to you. But if you want to keep things nice and free and loose, then it's a lot more forgiving. Drop me a comment in the comment section. Let me know which sort of painting you prefer to do, whether you like painting tight, exact details and try and get everything down, or do you like to paint in a loose sort of style like this? And please do feel free to give me a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. The reason why I sped this video up is a painting like this usually takes me about half an hour. But I wanted to keep things nice and simple, nice and straightforward and quick. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you prefer the loose style of painting, or is it something you like to do nice and tight? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.